We focus on history, culture, religion, art, social, and philosophy of Nusantara.
Here, in the presence of Nusantara, we were made to be forgotten about the goodness of ourselves. Because negativity seems to be more interesting for us. Now, I'm Sutoyo Raharto and friends, assist you, to remind you, to awaken you that we still can find the gems of Nusantara. They are the great sights of Nusantara. Good morning, Sir Sohaib El-Nahla.
Thank you.
Pencak Silat practitioner in England.
That's right.
You live in London or where?
Yeah, I live in London.
Okay. Could you let us know your background, sir? It's interesting.
Okay, so originally my parents are from Egypt. So originally from Egypt, but I was born in the UK.
Oh, okay. You're second generation.
That's right, yes.
Yeah. And then, how did you know Pencak Silat?
I was introduced to Pencak Silat through some friends of mine that knew Silat teacher in London. So my first Silat teacher was an Indonesian living in London. So that's
and he still lives there?
No, now he's moved back to Indonesia. So he spends most of the time in Indonesia and he visits London as well.
Okay. Since what age you knew Pencak Silat, sir?
I was around 17 or 18 years old.
And then how could you meet this guy?
So so some friends of mine introduced me to some athletes. So these athletes were the national team of Pencak Silat for the United Kingdom. So I was interested to train with them. And my guru was the president of Silat in the UK at that time.
Oh, Indonesia.
So he's still the president of Silat in the UK, and he's also the president of Silat of Europe as well.
Wow.
So his name is Aidinal Al-Rashid. He's originally from South Sulawesi, I think Bugis, but now he lives in Sukabumi in West Java.
Okay.
So I was introduced to him through these athletes and began to train with him.
So, have you ever been to Indonesia?
Yes, I've been to Indonesia 3 times.
For Pencak Silat?
Mostly for Pencak Silat, yeah.
How long did you stay here?
The first time I stayed maybe 1 month. The second time again 1 month, and the third time was just 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. And you came for practice?
Yes. So I came to practice in the national training facility, the Padepokan, in Jakarta, and also I trained some local Silat as well.
You train locals Silat? You train Indonesian?
No, I trained in Indonesia.
Oh, okay.
So the last time that I was there, I was in the Padepokan in Jakarta, but we also trained in West Java as well.
Okay. And then, what interests you with Pencak Silat actually? What interests you actually?
To be honest, in the beginning, I was attracted because it was quite different. So it looked different than the usual martial arts that were available. So at that time, karate and judo was very popular in the UK, but Silat was not so well known. But the more I got to know it, the more I got to fall in love with it. in terms of the culture, the movement, philosophy. So I started to enjoy it and started to practice it regularly.
Have you ever practiced judo, karate, and taekwondo?
Actually, yes, I have done some other martial arts. So I did a little bit of karate, a little bit of boxing, and I did some Muay Thai as well. But when I began to do Silat, I just continued with Silat. I did not, yeah. So I really liked it.
So are you an athlete there? Pencak Silat athlete?
I was an athlete, so I represented the United Kingdom team, and my highest achievement was a silver medal in European Championships. But now I'm more coach, so I coach the athletes that are competing for the UK now.
Wow, you're a senior now.
Just getting old. I don't know about senior, but older. Yes.
So how long have Pencak Silat been in Europe actually?
So the first time that Silat came to Europe was hundreds of years ago. I cannot tell you exactly when, but I think some prince from Indonesia or from Malaysia met the Queen Victoria. I did some kind of Silat demonstration, and then my teacher brought Silat to the UK. I think maybe in the 60s, in maybe the late 60s or maybe early 70s, that kind of time. So Silat's been in the UK, I would say, at least 40, 50 years. And there's other clubs. There's quite a few different schools of Silat as well. So every year is getting a bit bigger.
Oh, wow. Do you guys differentiate between Pencak Silat from Malaysia and Indonesia?
Yes, yeah.
Yes?
So, yeah. So we don't, I mean, Silat there's a global family of Silat, but in terms of the cultural knowledge is different. So Silat from Malaysia is different than Silat from Singapore, different than Silat from Indonesia. I think to the outsider looking in, not familiar, it's quite big, but there's so many different systems in Silat that even just Indonesian Silat have a huge variation. So even outside of Indonesia, compared to Malaysia and Singapore, also there's variation. So here in the UK, you have people that teach Indonesian Silat, you have people that teach Malaysian Silat as well. And then in the Indonesian Silat, you have people that teach Sulawesi Silat or Betawi Silat or Javanese Silat, like this.
So you concentrate in Javanese Silat?
No, so my main teaching was in South Sulawesi Silat.
South Sulawesi, okay.
Sulawesi. And then I also started to learn a type of Silat called KPSN, which is Keluarga Pencak Silat Nusantara. So they combine a lot of different knowledge of Silat from different parts of Indonesia. So I also had some experience learning Betawi Silat. So my main is the South Sulawesi. I've been studying it maybe for 18 years, 17 years, something like this. Wow. And I also, in that journey, I've had the opportunity to train with other masters to have a bit better understanding of Silat. So I train with KPSN, so I represent them in the UK as well. And I also train with Haji Zakaria from Mustika Kuitang, from Jakarta, Silat.
So since the age of 17 or 18, you have been living for Pencak Silat?
To be honest, it seems like that, yeah.
You must be crazy, man.
It seems like that. I was thinking about it. It's been a long time, actually. But it's like a life hobby or life sport, we really love it. So, and it has a good community. So you feel like it's not just a sport, but it's like family as well. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been a fun journey, and I'm looking forward to carrying on.
Wow. So your main job is in Pencak Silat?
No, my main job is teaching. So I'm a normal teacher. So I teach primary school and secondary school.
Okay. I thought you live just for Pencak Silat.
No, no. Over here, you don't have any really professional full time. All of us, we started when we were studying. So we were completing our university and training Silat, and then working and training Silat like that.
How is the development of Pencak Silat since 18 years ago until now then?
So it's been expanding. There's been new perguruan, so new clubs that are coming in. Also, the sports aspect of Silat have been expanding quite a lot. So the United Kingdom have been sending teams to represent the UK for Pencak Silat all over the world. So many competitions, for example, World Championships, European Championships, Belgium Opens. So we've been very active, and over time it's been growing. So the interest and the number is growing over time. And I think culturally as well, with the popular Indonesian films, The Raid and The Raid 2, have also increased people's interest in Silat. So it's been an interesting time in Silat. And I think even in the UK, because of the corona situation, we had a lockdown, for quite a strict lockdown for most of the last year. So we've been banned to train in public in many cases, but people have been training online. So they quite enjoy it, and they just continue training at home. So it's been quite a useful sport to have, in that sense. So yeah, it's been fun.
And when you visit Indonesia, after you visit Indonesia, do you see any difference between European Pencak Silat and Indonesia Pencak Silat?
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
100%.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think we're very much students of Silat. So in Europe, it's something that we're learning. But in Indonesia, in many cases, it's part of the culture. Especially with perguruans that have been active for a long time. It's something that's part of the community. So I visited, for example, the Cimande village in West Java last year, and you can see that they're training Silat as part of their day-to-day life. So it's different. Of course, the quality of Silat is much higher in Indonesia, and of course, the knowledge available is much greater. But so yeah, what we try to do is we try to learn proper, authentic Silat, and to study what our teachers in Indonesia have taught us here. But yeah, I think the main noticeable difference is the quality. I think when you go to the Padepokan, especially where you have regional teams, like for example Jakarta team, and you also have the elite Indonesian team, for example the international team, you see the standard of their training is very high, and they train a lot of hours. So you can see that, yeah, the skill level is very high. Last time I was in Indonesia, I visited the IPSI in West Java, and I also saw demonstrations of the Indonesian national and international team in Padepokan. So you can see that the athletes have been they're really at a very high level, which is encouraging. But of course, yeah, that's what we're aiming for as well.
Wow. Do you guys wish Pencak Silat to be one of the Olympic Games sport?
Yeah, 100%. I think, yeah, there's been a big campaign for Silat and to push Silat as an Olympic sport, and that has been very interesting a very interesting time for Silat for different reasons. One of the reasons is because of the engagement. So we're very excited to see if we can get into the sport, and that have opened doors for us, because if it does happen, then we can access more infrastructure and support, because the UK is more likely to fund these kind of sports. And also technically it have resulted in some rules being changed in Silat. So the rules themselves in the last 12 months have been upgraded, adjusted. So the sport have become even more complex. So more throwing, more, and all of this is actually because of the Olympics.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, to make it more friendly for the Olympics, they have introduced a new system. For example, like electronic scoring and things like this. So yeah, there's definitely a big focus on the Olympics now, and every Silat person in the world is interested, is watching to see what's going to happen with the Olympics. So,
Okay. Uh, how many students you have for Pencak Silat?
so to be honest with you, I consider myself a student.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say that I have students necessarily, but in our training group, we have, I would say, in my immediate group, about 25 to 35 people. And in the bigger club, so for example, other locations, probably about 50 to 60 people, that kind of
Oh,
size.
wow. And do you have branch club or
Yeah,
only in
so
London?
um, most of the Silat clubs are concentrated in London at the moment, but people are branching. It's only because of the COVID situation kind of put everything down. But online, we have students all around the UK. It's just physically at the moment we have not been able to meet because of the restriction. But there is people all around the UK, from Scotland, from Northern England, from the West, and from the East that are connecting with us. And sometimes when we have our training in London, we have people that cannot access a Silat teacher outside of London. They will travel to London in the weekend to join us.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Wow. So you guys also have Pencak Silat competition
Yes. Yeah. So
every
we have.
every year?
Yeah. So the competition starts, from local level, and it goes above. So the UK Federation have local competition that happens usually in London, and you'll have clubs from all over the UK that will travel to London for these competitions.
Wow.
We also have national competition, and we use that for selection of the national team. So the best performing athletes will then continue to represent in international competition. So one of the popular competitions that we like to go to internationally is Belgium. So there's a big international tournament that happens around April time. Usually, this year is cancelled because of Corona, but next year we're looking forward. So it's been running maybe the last 30 years, I think, or 40 years. So it's a very well established competition, and you have a lot of the Asian teams will come, professional teams like Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, and others. And we also the best UK athletes will train until World Championship level. So in the World Championships that's coming, they will be representing. So there's competition at every level, and every year there's competitions. Yes, and yeah. Now since the time of Corona, I think Persilat have started to do even digital competition to encourage participation. So they do like demonstration teams, or like demonstration, and you film it and you submit it to them. It's a way of keeping the training alive during the lockdown.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Rahayu.
You too. Thanks very much.
Okay, thanks.
You too. Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, sir. Bye-bye.